I came to seminary because I desired to fall more in love with the Lord. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip ahead in my kind of vocation story, particularly the last year and a half. So I'm a transfer student. I attended Hillsdale College my first year from 2019 to 2020, and then I was at a community college my second year. During high school, I didn't know the Lord. I think that I had a belief in him, but I didn't know him on a personal level. And it wasn't until I got to Hillsdale that I met some men who really affirmed me in my identity as a son of God, and just pushed me to step more into that identity. So I actually felt called out of Hillsdale my first year of college, and that was like when COVID hit. So I just had a ton of time to think, and it could have gone really poorly, or it could have gone really well, and praise God, it went well. During that time, I had a couple of realizations. The first was an existential realization. It was, oh shoot, I'm gonna die. And I don't know where I'm going at this point in my life. And then the second was, Jesus Christ is a real person who I can have a real relationship with. And then the third was, I should probably start thinking about my vocation. So I started to do that. I went to my spiritual director, Father Dan Westerman, from St. John the Baptist in Ypsilanti. Oh yeah, I'm from Lansing, the Diocese of Lansing, by the way. Just forgot to put that out there. Great diocese. So I went to Father Dan Westerman, my spiritual director, and I said, Father, I feel like the Lord could be calling me to priesthood, but I think I just like women too much. And he said to me, well, Seppi, I like women too. And then I realized priests aren't robots. This opened up a lot of possibilities for me. So that whole year I was discerning, but I was very hesitant about it. I wasn't fully committed to entering seminary, and I wasn't ready. I needed a push. My plan was, I was attending a community college. My plan was to go to the University of Michigan to study economics. A lot of people ask me why, and I ask myself that all the time. I had applied to the University of Michigan. I had gotten in. I had a house. I had everything set in place. By the end of May, I declared my major, and I met with Father Dan, my spiritual director, and he asked me what my plans were for the fall. This is last year. This is about a year ago today. I was meeting with Father Dan by the end of May, and he said, what are your plans? And I said, well, I'm going to, study econ, go to the University of Michigan, graduate. And he was like, great, do you want to do that? I was like, yeah, I think so. And he was like, all right, is that what the Lord wants you to do? And I was like, well, shoot. I didn't think about that at all. And so June 4th, I had a academic advisory meeting for economics, just kind of getting all my plans set in place. And during the meeting with this professor, everything just started going downhill. And I was just like, it all came down to this. I was just like, I can't do this. This is not where the Lord is calling me. So without talking to anyone, I just dropped out of Michigan. I had no plan for the fall. Wasn't thinking about seminary still. So June 6th, I'm out of Michigan. And for the entire month of June, I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was confident that the Lord had it figured out, that the Lord was going to lead me where he desired me to go, because I desired to do what he wanted me to do, and I know he's a good God who doesn't lead us astray. And so June 23rd, I was thinking maybe I'd go to Ave Maria University, but it was very loose. June 24th, I had set up a meeting with my vocations director, Father John Whitlock, and my spiritual director, Father Dan Westerman, and they just happened to fall on the same day, which is a recipe for disaster. Anyways, I met with both of them. I met with Father Dan. I told him everything, and he was like, have you thought about seminary? And I was like, dang it, Father, I don't want to go. I just don't want to go. And he just started breaking down all these lies, and he was like seminary is a place to fall more in love with the Lord, first and foremost. And that was what I wanted. And so I left that meeting thinking, well, something's happening. I don't know what. and I met with my vocations director at a Sweetwater's in Ann Arbor, which is the place to decide to go to seminary, I guess. And by the end of the day, I was applying to seminary. Yeah, it was intense. Since that point, I've just been met with grace. You will not find a better group of young men anywhere. That's a bold claim, but I'll wait for someone to disprove me. They're all in love with the Lord, and they're in love with His church, and they want to serve each and every one of them. And most importantly, they're not afraid. They're not afraid because they know who they are and they know who Christ is. I had a talk with one of my brothers, Brian Johnson, a couple days ago, and he said, these are men you want on your side. And I just want to reiterate that. These are men that you want to be fighting with you. The priests on staff, I'm not one for exaggeration, but they're the best priests literally ever. Father, they're laughing. Can you believe that? So I just wanted to end with this. If you have kind of found yourself despairing over the state of the church, or worried or hopeless, I have some words for you. It comes from one of the priests on staff, Father Matt Alexander. It's 5 words. Cut that out. That's 3 words. I left a couple words out. But I say cut it out lovingly, because this is it's Jesus' church, and it's in His hands, and it's always been in His hands. And St. John Vianney is just more proof of that. Thank you.